at 5:45 today.
Great, thank you, Member Carr, and we are recording, so we can go ahead and begin. Chair Roberts, if you would like to call the meeting to order.
Thank you. This is a public notice for the City of Boulder Beverage Licensing Authority hearing for Wednesday, April 15th, 2026 at 3 p.m. This is a virtual hearing.
Thank you. I will now go ahead and share my screen to read the rules of decorum. Okay. The city has engaged with community members to co-create a vision for productive, meaningful, and inclusive civic conversations. This vision supports physical and emotional safety for community members, staff, and board members, as well as democracy for people of all ages, identities, lived experiences, and political perspectives. For more information about this vision and the community engagement process, please visit bouldercolorado.gov services. The city will enforce the rules of decorum found in the Boulder Revised Code. Participants are required to sign up to speak using the name they are commonly known by, and individuals must display their whole name before being allowed to speak online. Currently, only audio testimony is permitted online. No attendee shall disrupt, disturb, or otherwise impede the orderly conduct of any meeting in a manner that obstructs the business of the meeting. This also includes failing to obey any lawful order of the presiding officer to leave the meeting or refrain from addressing the board. Only one person at a time is allowed to speak unless an accommodation like an interpreter is required. All remarks and testimony shall be limited to matters related to city business. No participant shall make threats or use other forms of intimidation against any person. Obscenity, other epitaphs based on race, gender, or relation, and other speech behavior that disrupts or otherwise impedes the meeting will not be tolerated. Stop sharing my screen. And now we will go ahead and do member roll call, please. Chair Roberts.
Chair Roberts, present.
Member Ginger Barnes.
Member Barnes, present.
Member Michael Carr.
Member Carl present.
Member Lansing Crane.
Member Crane, present.
And Member Brendan Haggerty.
Member Haggerty, present.
Fantastic. Lovely to have everyone with us here today. So let me pull up just one moment. I believe since everyone is here, we can finally go ahead and do the approval of the Beverage Licensing Authority minutes from January 21st, 2026 of this year.
Sounds good. Has everyone had a time to read through that for those who were there? And are there any edits? Then I would make a motion to approve the meetings from January 21st.
Member Barnes, seconds.
All those in favor say aye. Member Roberts, aye.
Member Barnes, aye.
Member
Crane, aye. There were only three of us there, right?
That's right. My member Carl will abstain. I forgot I was not at that meeting.
Member Haggerty, aye.
Great. January 21st meeting minutes are approved. And we'll just roll right into the next ones. Has everyone who was there or not there had a chance to review the February 18th meeting minutes? And are there any edits? Then I would make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from February 18, 2026. All those in favor say aye. Member Roberts, aye.
Member Barnes, aye.
Member Carr, aye.
Member Crane wasn't there.
Yep, Member Haggerty abstains as well.
Great.
Chair Roberts, I hate to interrupt. I believe
Hi.
you needed a second on that motion. Sorry.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh,
Not to start off on a
thank
bad
you.
foot, but yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I was so proud of myself for just rolling right through. All right. I would make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from February 18th. Is there a second?
Member Barnes, seconds.
All those in favor say aye. Member Roberts, aye.
Member Barnes, aye.
Member Carr, aye.
And the others
Abstain. Member Haggerty abstains.
Member Crane abstains.
Thank you. And we have one more to review. It was the meeting minutes from last month of March 15th. Any edits to those? Then I would make a motion to approve the March 15, 2026 meeting minutes. Is there a second?
Member Barnes seconds.
All those in favor say aye. Member Roberts, aye.
Member Barnes, aye.
Member Carr
Crane,
abstained.
I'm sorry. Yeah, didn't mean to step on your toes there.
All good.
Member Crane, aye.
Member Haggerty abstains.
Approved. Thanks.
Fantastic, great. We do have an agenda item from the licensing clerk. So agenda item number 5, which would have been the continued public hearing and consideration for a renewal for Boulder Foe. Boulder Foe reached out and contacted Elisa and has gone through the correct steps, and they have surrendered their license. So there's no steps for the BLA to take on that. So once we get to that matter, we will just be moving right ahead.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Then we will go ahead and move to agenda item 2, which is matters from the Boulder Police Department. Officer Leah Reck is here. If you want to go ahead, Officer Reck.
Good afternoon. I don't really have a ton. I have a ton, but not a ton. I'll save it for later, but is there any questions or anything for me? It's been crazy.
I'm sure with the nice weather. I don't
Yeah,
have any questions. Anybody else?
No, just thank you for everything you're doing.
Yep. Thank you.
thank you for acknowledging it.
Well, thank you, Officer Reck. We will move on to agenda item 3, which is general public comments for future Beverage Licensing Authority meetings. So if you are in the chat, if you can please raise your hand if you have anything that you would like to say before the BLA for any future beverage licensing hearings. I'm not seeing any hands up yet. I'll give it just another moment or two. Again, if you are in this meeting and you have anything you would like to say for any future Beverage Licensing Authority hearings, please raise your hand in the chat so I can admit you and you can speak. Okay, I'm not seeing any hands, so we will move right ahead. So that will be agenda item 4, and let me go ahead. I did see Mr. Richard Mosier. If you are here to present for agenda item 4, which is the Riverside Group doing business as Riverside, please raise your hand so I can admit you. Thank you, Mr. Mosier. Give me one moment while I get you in here. And Mr. Mosier, if you can go ahead and unmute yourself and turn your video on. Hello, Mr. Mosier.
Hi.
So agenda item 4 is the continued monthly check-in for the Riverside Group doing business as Riverside at 1724 Broadway Street, Boulder, Colorado, 80302. As of this past Friday, when I checked with our Boulder sales tax team, Riverside was not currently in good standing with them.
Oh no, I did. Everything is good standing as of when I checked yesterday. There was a payment or a submission that didn't go through, meaning I didn't hit submit or something. It was filed but not paid, I guess. So I just paid that. I think it was Monday. Yeah, Monday. So if you check now, it's all good.
Okay. Maybe in the future, look for a receipt right away.
Oh, I took a little screenshot. I can send that if that
Oh,
helps.
perfect.
Yeah.
Is there a way to confirm or
I can look for the screenshot. Is there a way I can send it now?
Oh, that's okay. I was just checking with the clerk's office.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm not seeing anybody chime in.
That was just our latest information was as of
From Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
this was Monday, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Monday afternoon.
questions from the board for Mr. Mosier?
There was one more thing.
Yes?
There was this ongoing issue of putting Miranda on as a manager, and I did reply to the email just now because as I was looking for the board package, I saw that one. But Miranda's focusing on health and wellness, so there's a change of plan. We're actually looking for an event manager that also be helping with the bar. So we're gonna find a new one. Yeah. Miranda is here with me, but she's going to focus on health and wellness and not events and the food and beverage.
Okay.
That that was all. I just wanted to add that.
Thank you. Any questions, discussion, concerns around this item, board? Okay, Mr. Mosier, I think we're just taking your word for it that you are reconciled as of 2 days ago, but please just be on time, okay?
I will do.
All right, we'll see you next month.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. So as I mentioned before, we will be moving past agenda item 5, since that is no longer an issue. Oh, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to backtrack. Give me just one moment here. Okay, sorry about that. And I do apologize for backtracking. We did receive word from Penelope Rhodes, who is the supervisor, the tax team supervisor. As of right now, there are no pending payments for Riverside, so they have not received that. She is unfortunately in a meeting, so I can't have her present that in front, but that is the email that we just received.
That's unsettling. Okay.
We do have a check-in next month with Mr.
Yeah.
Mosier.
Yeah, we'll just have to proceed. Thank you for the update.
You got it. I apologize. Hang on one moment. Okay, we are moving ahead. I just wanted to double check. So my apologies. We are going ahead with agenda item 6, which is the show cause hearing concerning an alleged violation, whether the hotel restaurant type liquor license held at Mojo Taqueria LLC, doing business as Mojo Taqueria, 2785 Iris Avenue, Boulder, Colorado, 80304 should be suspended or revoked. If you are here to speak on this matter, please raise your hand so I can go ahead and admit you. Okay, I see a Krista Huff who I am admitting. Okay. Hi, Mrs. Huff, and
It should
Ty,
just,
is it?
yeah, it should just be me on this one.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Krista, are you not here to speak for Mojo Taqueria?
I am. I am one of the city attorneys. I work with Mia Keller and am stepping in for her today.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you for letting me know, Krista. Give me one moment, please. So it is Ham, correct?
Hamas.
Hamas. Okay,
Yeah,
let me.
just almost.
And will there be an attorney presenting for you, sir?
No,
Okay. And I do not believe we have a signed stipulation in this case. Is that correct, Mrs. Howe?
we do.
We do have a signed stipulation. I can forward that to you, Miss Riggs, if you would like.
Okay.
And there should be a packet of mitigating factors as well. So make sure you have that.
If you would like to send that signed stipulation, I don't believe we received it prior to today.
Me or Krista?
Krista, please.
Okay.
And I did just forward that over to you. It looks like Miss Keller sent it around to Miss Kellogg, Miss Teague, and Miss Darrow. But it should be coming your way.
Okay, great. It's just uploading for me. I can send it directly to the BLA. And then, Krista, if you wouldn't mind summarizing it before you ask the board to accept. Okay, I did receive that and I just forwarded that to our BLA members.
Great, thank you. Attorney Huff, would you like to summarize anything for us with this agreement before we?
Sure, I can just summarize it now since you've just received it. But on February 26, 2026, officers Dave Kaufman and Leah Reck conducted a compliance check at Moho Taqueria. During
Actually,
that off
I'm sorry. First, I need to read a couple things into the record.
Oh,
Uh,
sure. Sorry.
I kind of jumped ahead as well. Because Mr. Hammis
Mhm.
is not represented by counsel, I will go ahead and read some of his rights into the record. So this is a public hearing before the Beverage Licensing Authority for the City of Boulder to determine whether or not the license of Mojo Tequila LLC, DBA Mojo Tequila, should be suspended or revoked on the basis of the violations alleged in the order to show cause served upon the license and requiring the licensee to be present here today. Because this is a disciplinary proceeding, the authority shall not ask for or allow comments from members of the general public on the guilt of the licensee or the appropriate discipline to be imposed. The purpose of this hearing is to receive testimony presented by the city and by the licensee in order to enable the authority to make findings and determine by preponderance of evidence whether or not the licensee has violated the various laws as alleged. If, in the course of the hearing, testimony or other evidence establishes the guilt of the licensee of a violation or some other law, rule, or regulation, than those stated in the notice, the licensee shall be afforded a reasonable continuance upon any offer that evidence in defense, explanation, and mitigation is not available to the licensee, but can be obtained within a period of a continuance not to exceed 10 days. A record is being made of all of these proceedings. All testimony shall be given under oath. The rules of evidence and requirement of proof and procedure shall conform to the extent practicable to those in civil non-jury cases, but when necessary to ascertain facts affecting the substantial rights of the public or of the licensee, the authority may receive and consider evidence not admissible under such rules if evidence possesses probative value commonly accepted by reasonable and prudent persons in the conduct of the affairs. The rules of the privilege required by law shall be respected in this proceeding, and the chair may exclude incompetent and unduly repetitious evidence. The chair shall rule upon all the questions of evidence and procedure, subject to being overruled on motion sustained by a majority vote of the members of the authority present. Should a licensee wish to request a fine in lieu of active suspension days, please notify the authority after the penalty phase is determined, if any, but before suspension posting is discussed, and the licensee should be prepared to supply an estimated per day suspension dollar amount for the authority's deliberations. Those who desire to be heard shall identify themselves by stating their name, spelling their last name, and stating their pertinent address. They shall also be sworn in by the secretary of the board. To the board members, does anyone have any conflict of interest or ex parte communication with this establishment? Member Roberts, no.
Burns, no.
Member Carr, no.
Crane, no.
Member Haggerty, no.
Okay, then if we are ready to proceed, Ms. Riggs, would you swear in Mr. Hammes, please?
Yes, thank you, Chair Roberts. Mr. Hammes, I would like you to ask if you can please state your name, spell your name, and give an address for the record, please.
Yes, my full name is Michael Ty Hammes. It's Michael, middle name Ty, and last name Hammes. And my home address is 314 McConnell Drive, McConnell Drive in Lyons, Colorado 80540.
Thank you. And you are not being represented by an attorney today, correct?
That's correct.
Fantastic. If you would please raise your hand. And do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give in the matter before the Beverage Licensing Authority is true?
Yes.
Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. And board, we have been given a stipulation. And does anybody want to take a break and read it, or have you been able to look through it?
I've been able to look through it and read it. I did request a copy of the mitigating factors that I did not receive those.
I did see them on like page
Yeah, they're in the packet.
90, I believe, and they are quite outstanding.
They are in the packet. Okay.
Mhm.
Look on page 90.
Yeah.
This was a big pack.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. And Mr. Hammes, are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So we do have before us a stipulation, and did either party want to comment on that before we accept it or not? Okay. Any discussion amongst the board? I would make a motion to approve the stipulation. Is there a second?
Member Haggerty seconds the motion.
Great. All those in favor say aye. Member Roberts, aye.
Member Burns, aye.
Member Carr, aye.
Member Crane, aye.
Member Haggerty, aye.
Okay, great. Stipulation accepted. Um, so Mr. Hammis, would you like to proceed with talking us through your mitigation or making any comments?
Sure. Yeah. I recognize a few of you on the board, and I submitted these mitigating factors once before, unfortunately. So some of it is a little bit repeat. But speaking to the current situation and climate, I would say that, we have two locations, and I feel like we've really focused on doing at both locations. We really emphasize alcohol training, karting. We do the bars program, and I have put in the packet that between the two locations, we've gotten a green card. We've passed every time that they've sent somebody in, except for on one occasion in Boulder. I noted it there where a person came in and that they sent in and handed a red card before the server ever reached the table. I just put in some emails where I tried to get explanation on that because it didn't really make sense, and I never heard back from them. But aside from that one occasion, when bars have set people in, we've passed every time. We greatly emphasize we keep all those cards up on the wall. We have a sign in the server area of the age, and I feel like we've been doing all the right things. So when I was notified that this happened and I was working at the other location, I was definitely shocked and disappointed and found it, just disappointed because honestly, I just feel like we've been doing all the things we've been doing. We don't have a young crowd to begin with, but I feel like we've really emphasized doing, you know, paying serious attention to this and doing a great job. And we just, we felt that we were. I didn't expect that somebody would serve someone underage, and especially someone that was, we have a very experienced staff, a mature staff, and this is someone who, the bartender, she's a very mature person. She's managed restaurants and she read the date wrong and she served these two people. But there's reasons why that was in itself was disappointing. So I think the main thing that I can just say is that I can feel like you can be doing all the right things and still a server makes a mistake. And I don't think it reflects necessarily on how we handle this or how we prioritize it or you know, being an establishment where underage drinking is in any way a common occurrence. That's my main feelings on it.
Great. Thank you. Are there questions from the board?
Yes, I have a question. Thank you for the statement, and thank you for submitting the mitigating factors. I did have a chance to review those. I think they are pretty comprehensive. My question is more for you managing the business going forward. Are there any changes that you think you'll be making, or anything else that you'll be doing a little bit differently, or re-emphasizing with the staff to prevent this from happening in the future?
Yeah, we're requiring everyone to do alcohol training again, even though a lot of them just did it last year, including Emma, who is the bartender who served the drinks. She already redid her alcohol training.
Mhm.
One main thing that was really shocking about this was that it was a vertical Colorado ID, which we've talked to staff knows this. This person knows this, that most likely is going to be either someone who's underage or is just barely past the age. So anytime we have a vertical ID, we bring that back to a second person to get a check on it. That's 100% without a doubt. And I feel like there's obviously one of the biggest reinforcements is just when this happens for the rest of the staff to realize that, oh wow, this person did that. And whether you're busy or not, like we need to if there's ever a question, you get a second set of eyes on it. You don't want to put the business at risk and you don't want to be paying fines. So, I mean, it's a big wake up call for people, I think. Um, I say those are the main things. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Just out of curiosity, because you really talked about how diligent you've been, and I have no doubt, have you guys been confiscating fake IDs over the last year and turning them into the Polder Police Department?
We haven't because we haven't had a fake ID that we've confiscated. And, I mean, in some ways, we're fortunate that we're up on 20th and Iris, that we don't really have to deal much with that clientele. But if you're ever to go into Mojo in the evening, you're going to see that if there's anyone under the age of 25, it's just a couple of people. Yeah, it's a much older crowd. And so it's not really a place where younger people come. And we haven't had a single instance in the past year of having to confiscate anyone's fake ID. Amazingly.
Any other questions from the board? I believe Attorney Phipps, do we go straight to the penalty phase, or do we, because we already accepted the stipulation?
Yes, you've accepted the stipulation, so now you need to determine the appropriate penalty. And so obviously you'll need a motion and a second on that as well.
Okay.
But yeah, you can determine the appropriate mitigating factors and the impact there and how you want to proceed in terms of the appropriate penalty.
Thank you.
Sure.
Mr. Hummus, do you have any closing, anything else that you wanted to add before we deliberate?
No, I think I pretty much said it all, unless anybody else has any questions, other than, truly, I just found this to be a very unfortunate, surprising. But if we're going to keep prioritizing this the way that we have, and hopefully this never happens again, but that's it.
Thank you so much. Then at this time, we will close for board deliberation. This is a tough one because it is within 1 year. Comments? Member Carr, were you going to say something?
I'm sorry, within 1 year.
The second offense within a year? Is that
It was
I
May
did.
May last year, May of 2025.
barely? Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that through the bars program, or was that through? I just want to clarify that was a BLA violation,
It was.
because I missed that one. Okay.
Yeah, so a tough one. Is
Let me see that. Yeah, I think that is challenging that it's happened. Two within a year. That is a little concerning. Um, I think the mitigating factors are great. The statement from the bartender helped me understand what happened. Um, I love to see that they are part of the bars program and that they are also involved in the community. Um, the one area I do see is a little bit weak is the written policies. It's really just one page, and I know they're not on the Hill, but I think there's a lot more that could go into that, such as specifically restricting vertical IDs, for example, could just help eliminate these type of problems in the future. But anyway,
yeah,
that's my thought.
yeah, that one is surprising. I almost wish it was like a harder one to overlook because vertical it's just, makes it a lot more obvious. But so let's discuss the options here. It looks like, so I'm looking on page 80 of the packet at the penalty. So
It was 2 counts.
Chair Roberts,
yes,
members, if I can just provide a little back information from what the ruling was, what you all's ruling was last year. Give me one moment to pull that information
Yeah,
up.
thank you.
Of course. It was April 4th that that the issue transpired. Member Roberts, you moved for suspension with 2 days served and 10 days held in abeyance. Member Haggerty, you seconded. The motion from last May is from the last May BLA hearing. So it was 2 days served and 10 days held in abeyance, was what the BLA ruled on that.
Thank you so much. So
So that's challenging, right? Because it's a potential 10-day suspension right there, in addition to and from last year's violation plus any new 2 counts, which would be an additional potential 10 days. That's 20 days.
yeah, that's I'm just going through stuff here too.
I'll state that I believe that 20 days is not necessary in this situation. Like, I understand we put 10 days in advance. I think 20 days is just is too much for this type of violation. Given the mitigating factors, I do believe does need to be some days served. And then I think we can additionally put, other days in advance, but it has been almost a year. I don't know how everyone else feels, but I feel like 20 days is just is too much.
I
I agree
agree.
with you.
Yeah, I also agree. Um, they've been very, excuse me, I'm not like, very upfront about what happened, and they want to make it right. So I appreciate that and the honesty. So
So,
Mhm.
I was just chiming in too. Yeah, 20 days seems, yeah, far excessive, but so it is, you know, are we, are we like cut it in half, 10? It seems like a lot as well.
It seems like a lot as well. Yeah.
Seems like a whole lot. Um, yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, whittle it down from 20 to 10 to, you know, a
7,
week,
You know,
7,
7.
I was
I'd
thinking 7
almost be
days.
inclined to say like it's been a year,
5.
right?
Hmm.
It's been like a few days of a year. So
Hmm.
I would almost be comfortable going with like that it's maybe the first violation, but maybe more on like the heavier side for that kind of violation, and then maybe extra days in abeyance, something like that. Um, so it was because these are all recommendations
Right,
for us to work from.
right, right. Well,
Uh,
last year we did 2 days,
right.
right, served and then 10 days in advance. Um, I feel like we should do 4 days. I mean, I think 4 days served. Um, and I think we should put 12 days in advance. I'll
I
make a motion for that. So member Carr will make a motion for 4 days served and 12 days in advance.
I
Member
did
Barnes second
interrupt.
that. Oh,
I'd,
so
I'd like to interrupt before you take the vote here, just to point out that there are days in abeyance from your previous order.
Mhm.
So you need to consider if you're going to activate those days in abeyance, and if so, how that's going to be treated with the additional days you're adding. So you need to be very clear about what
Okay.
penalty you're creating here. And I'm sorry, Member Carr, you did articulate certain days in abeyance. So are you continuing those? Are you activating some and leaving some on the table? You really need to articulate this a little more clearly. And we're happy to help you put that together. But I do think you need to take some time to sort of walk through that, because there is an outstanding number already on the table. So
Mhm.
sorry to interrupt there.
Thank you.
Okay, so we still have those 10 days in advance. Um, my thinking was let's do uh 10 days in advance from this one, and then let's take 2 days in advance from the last one, since we're almost at the end of the year. And then we'll waive the other 8 days in advance at this point. So therefore, my motion is for 4 days time served, 4 days served, 10 days, and 12 days in advance total, with 2 of those days activated from the previous violation.
Is there a second?
I second, Member Barnes seconds.
All those in favor say aye. Member Roberts, aye.
Member Barnes, aye.
Member Carr, aye.
Crane, aye.
Member Haggerty, aye.
And if I could just remind the board to please pick a start date for that.
Generally, it has been the following Monday. Is there any reason why that wouldn't work for you, Mr. Hammes? Oh, you're muted.
No, there's no reason why that would not work for me. Monday.
Okay. Then Monday, I don't know what date that is.
The 20th.
Thank you. Monday the 20th.
Mr. Hammes,
Yes.
I will be creating your suspension poster tomorrow, and you'll receive an email from me when it is ready, with instructions ready for how to pick it up and postings and all of that. It's typically done by noon, but again, it won't be ready until you get that email from myself.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hummus. We're very sorry about all this, and please just stay on top of it. You're doing great.
Thank you. And I'll take the advice on the policies, even though we discussed all that and it's in the training, just to kind of bulk that up a little bit.
Great,
So,
thank you.
thank you. All right.
Great, thank you. Then we will go ahead and move forward with agenda item 7, which is a show cause hearing concerning an alleged violation, whether the hotel restaurant type liquor license held by Hapa Franchise Group, Inc., doing business as Motomaki, 1600 28th Street, number 1216, Boulder, Colorado, 80302, should be suspended or revoked. I do see one hand up for this. Adam Stapin, if there is anyone else here to speak on this matter, please also raise your hand. Oh, Krista, I do see your hand raised, but you can unmute. You can unmute yourself. There you go. And I have an Alexander Hawkins. Okay, Mr. Stapin, if you can go ahead and turn on your video, please.
Can you folks hear me okay?
Yes, but we can't.
Good. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm battling an ear infection and I'm working from home. It's an inner ear infection that gives me a little bit of vertigo and dizziness. So I could tell the authority and Chair Roberts, I am not dressed in a suit. I have a hat on backwards and a shirt, but I want to attend. The doctor advised me it's good to let the mind keep doing what it should be doing to help balance the problem again. So I could go on camera, but it's not going to be what you typically see of me, or if it's okay that you know me, not having me be on camera may be best for everybody right now.
I would be fine with what you're comfortable with.
Okay. Yeah, I would rather not. I look like I feel.
Okay. Very sorry.
Thank you. We do have Alexander Hopkins as well. He is the manager on behalf of the licensee. Thank you.
And I do believe we have a stipulation in this matter. So if it's okay, I'll go ahead and get Alexander sworn in and then turn it over.
Please and thank you.
Alexander, can you unmute yourself, please? Thank you.
Yes, just want to make sure that works fine.
Yep, we can hear you and see you. Thank you. Let's see. Can you please state your name, spell your name, and give an address for the record, please?
My name's Alexander Hopkins, spelled Alexander. Last name's Hopkins, Hopkins. Address is 3525 Zuni Street, Denver, Colorado, 80211.
And do you anticipate that anybody other than yourself and your lawyer will be speaking with you today?
No.
Okay. Will you please raise your hand? And do you swear to affirm the testimony that you're about to give in the matter before the Beverage Licensing Authority is true?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. I will go ahead and turn it over. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. And Attorney Stapin, did you want to go ahead and record your appearance?
Yes, please. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Adam Stapin. I'm an attorney licensed to practice law here in the great state of Colorado. Registration number is 27506 on behalf of the licensee in this matter.
Great, thank you so much.
And we will waive the reading of the hearing. Thank you.
You read my mind, thank you. Okay, so just as a reminder, this is a public hearing before the Beverage Licensing Authority for the City of Boulder to determine whether or not the license held by Hapa Franchise Inc., DBA, Motomaki, should be suspended or revoked on the basis, should be suspended or revoked. And to the members of the board, has there been any ex parte communication or conflicts of interest with this establishment? Member Roberts, no.
Member Barnes, no.
Member Carr, no.
Member Crane, no.
Member Haggerty, no.
Okay, great. Then did everybody have a chance to review the stipulation? Are there any questions or discussions for either side from the board? Or is there a motion?
Member Crane, I move we accept the stipulation as appears in the record.
Great, I would second that motion. All those in favor say aye. Member Roberts, aye.
Member Barnes, aye.
Member Carr, aye.
Member Crane, aye.
Member Haggerty, aye.
Great. Stipulation accepted. Attorney Stapin, would you like to proceed?
Yes, and thank you. And again, thank you for allowing me to proceed by audio only. We did timely submit to the authority for its consideration a packet of mitigation evidence, and I hope the authority has had an opportunity to take a look at that. As the authority probably knows through just different channels or otherwise, that this is an established operator within the city and county and takes the sale and service of alcohol very seriously. And has done so for many, many years, not only in Boulder, but elsewhere. In this instance here, the employee was trained, did ask for the identification, but failed to properly look at it. And as a result of that, the employee was fired. We do take this very seriously. It's the first violation of this type. As a result of that, the licensee retrained its staff on March 19th, 2026, took it upon itself to do the retraining. In addition, as Member Carr mentioned before, what will the licensee do in the future to ensure this doesn't happen again? One was the training, and two, they ensure now that managers have to get their eyes on any vertical ID prior to accepting it. That was not part of their training procedure before, it is now. This organization takes pride by having written policies and procedures in place that further train in the alcohol consumption, service, and handling to ensure it's done responsibly. They cooperated in this investigation without any prior history, and they are also intimately involved in the community. As you see in the mitigation evidence, they take pride in being active in the community. I could tell you that this, to me, seems like a one-time, one-off event. In speaking with the licensee does not have great alcohol sales versus food sales. It's the other way around. The food sales dominate the alcohol sales. And I don't believe this is a place for troubled underage drinking as well. I think their history shows otherwise. Mr. Hopkins is here to answer any specific questions you may have, but we do want to apologize for taking your time. We take full responsibility for this violation and believe we're doing what we can to make sure this doesn't happen again. And here to answer any questions you may have. So thank you.
Great, thank you so much. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Hopkins?
I do have a question, Mr. Hopkins. As I was reading through the police statement, the employee who served the alcohol to the minors mentioned that she had not been trained. So I wanted to clarify, had she received training, or was that just a omission or mistake on her part in her statement?
I think she had been trained initially when she started. Um, she had not had a tip certification completed, which slipped through our records. She was hired when we were renewing our liquor license a year ago. And at that time, all of our current employees were retaking tip certification. Her name was not added to the calendar, but she did go through our in-house training program. She was familiar with our protocols. Um, I was incredibly disappointed to hear that it was two vertical IDs that she was just so carelessly um, allowed the sale of alcohol. I don't know if she thought she was doing them a favor, um, but she had been here for about a year. And we have a running calendar that has all of our employees and their expiration dates on there, and whether it was tip certification or if it was from a previous employer. Um, she was just hired at kind of a time when that calendar didn't get filled out and stayed under the radar for the year. Um, Unfortunately, it would have been discovered that she hadn't been trained when we reapplied for our liquor license this year, which was right around the time that this happened. It was actually the week that we already had our training scheduled. So I'm disappointed. I've been managing restaurants in Boulder for the last 10 years now, and I've never seen an employee fail a sting. So it's really disheartening to hear about that happening. It's embarrassing. Um, I didn't expect it to happen under my watch, and yeah, feel terrible about it.
Yeah, thank you. If it were to happen that another employee got hired, and maybe it's just after your renewal goes through, how will you ensure that that person is tips trained and it's not a year before, you identify that they've, been serving alcohol without being tips trained?
Yep. So as part of our onboarding process, we're going to have checked boxes to make sure that that was added to the calendar. The certification date is there within, I think 60 days was the rule originally. We're going to make it 30 days. And if that employee is not trained and has a certification or a receipt about going to the class, they will not be put back on the schedule.
Great.
And in the 30 days to 60 days where they're hired and waiting for their approval, supervisor or manager will come over and check any ID. It's pretty infrequent that we sell beverages most of the day, and it's very rare that a customer buy more than one beer with their meal. So anytime that employee sells alcohol just to get approval while they're waiting for the tip certification or serve safe.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board? That actually kind of took care of mine. Okay, then, is there anything that you would like to add, Attorney Stapin, for closing?
No, I believe the authority is advising the premises, so thank you.
Great, thank you. Then at this time, we will close for board deliberation. Thinking, what are you guys thinking? These are
I'm
seems like
thinking 3 or 4 days, the days served. Excuse me.
I feel like that is a little high for their first infraction. And would suggest maybe only like one or two is where I'm leaning.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards one or two. The mitigating factors presented were, spot on. I like the fact that right after the incident, everyone received the training. I think really a wake up call. I think Member Carr asked some excellent questions as far as how it happened, and I think to Mr. Hopkins, a big wake up call right there to make sure nothing falls through the cracks. Um, so I think they're kind of put on notice that that can happen again. So I'm leaning towards 1 day served as an appropriate sentence.
Yeah, I appreciate how transparent he was that this person just fell through the cracks and that they recognized it, they own up to it, and that sounds like some human error that they are fixing. Um, anything anything else, or is there a motion?
I was just gonna say I appreciate them taking responsibility and admitting yes, this thing fell through the cracks. I don't think that means we necessarily need to let them off the hook, so to speak. I think that it is their responsibility to ensure that all employees are trained properly. And it is, it's concerning to me that this person went almost a year without getting tips training and was serving alcohol. Um, with that being said, they haven't failed at anything else. It sounds like their new policies are in place. They're more robust. You know, that's those are some strong mitigating factors for me.
Yeah. Then I would make a motion to for 2 days served and 10 days in abeyance.
Member Carr will second that motion.
All those in favor say aye. Member Roberts, aye.
Member Barnes, aye.
Member Carr, aye.
Member Crane, aye.
Member Haggerty, aye.
Okay, great. Motion passed. Mr. Hopkins, sorry that this happened, and thank you for following up with some good policies.
If the board would just say when
Oh,
the
yes.
2 days, when the suspension is going to start.
Yes, and generally we propose the following Monday, which would be April 20th. Does that work for the city to have two on the same day? Okay. Mr. Hopkins, any circumstances that doesn't work?
Yes, Monday the 20th works just fine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Monday the 20th.
thank you. Excuse me, Mr. Hopkins, so you will receive an email from myself tomorrow, most likely before noon, with instructions on how to pick up your suspension poster, and then what to do with that poster and everything like that. Again, the poster won't be ready for pickup before you get that email from myself. Great. And Mr. Stapin, did you have any closing remarks?
No, other than once again thanking the authority for allowing me to appear by audio only today. Thank you.
Okay,
You feel better?
Thank you very much.
thank you both. So we will be moving on now to, give me one moment here, my apologies. So we are moving on to agenda item 8, which will be the show cause hearing concerning an alleged violation, whether the brew pub type liquor license held by Timberline Brewing Company doing business as Twisted Pine Brewing Company, 3201 Walnut Street, Unit A, Boulder, Colorado, 80302 should be suspended or revoked. If you are here to speak on this matter, if you can please raise your hand so that I can admit you. See, I have one.
And while you're admitting them to the board, we were sent the signed stipulation in a separate email.
Sam Harden and a Bob Belay joining us. Mr. Harden, if you can unmute and turn on your video.
Absolutely. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you. And let's see. Bob, if I can go ahead and swear you in, please, sir. Will you please say your name and spell your name and give an address for the record, please?
My name is Robert Bale, Robert. E as in boy, Aile. Address is 4849 Kellogg Circle, Boulder, Colorado, 80303.
Thank you. And do you anticipate that anybody other than yourself and your attorney will be speaking on this matter?
No.
All right, please raise your hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter before the Beverage and Licensing Authority is true?
I do.
Okay, fantastic. I will go ahead and turn it on over. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. And Attorney Harden, did you already record your appearance?
I have not yet.
Okay, could you please do that?
Absolutely. Samuel Harden, attorney registration number 58758 on behalf of applicant Timberline Brewing, or
Okay.
licensee Timberline Brewing, excuse me.
Thank you. And Attorney Huff, I see you're on camera. Would you like to add something?
Just that the parties have reached a stipulation in this matter, and the board can probably see these are pretty unique facts, but a very brief violation nonetheless.
Yes, right. Yes, this was interesting. Thank you so much. And Attorney Harden, would you like to waive the reading into the record?
I would. Thank you.
Great. So then to begin, this is a public hearing before the Beverage Licensing Authority of the City of Boulder to determine whether or not the brew pub type liquor license held by Timberline Brewing Company, DBA Twisted Pine Brewing Company, should be suspended or revoked. And like we've heard, we do have a signed stipulation of facts. Is there any comments, questions from the board about this? I'm not seeing any, so I would make a motion to approve the signed stipulation.
Member Barnes seconds that.
All those in favor say aye. Member Roberts, aye.
Member Barnes, aye.
Member Carr, aye.
Ryan, aye.
Member Haggerty, aye.
Great. Stipulation is approved. So then we would move on to mitigating and penalty phase. Attorney Harden, would you like to present anything?
I have a brief opening, and then I would like to just call Mr. Bale to provide additional testimony on some mitigating factors present.
Great, thank you. Please proceed. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. To the board, are there any, has there been any ex parte communication or conflicts of interest with this establishment? Member Roberts, no?
Member Barnes, no.
Member Carr, no.
Right, no.
Member Haggerty, no.
Okay, excellent. You may proceed.
Thank you very much. As the authority is likely aware, this is a business that's been a part of the Boulder community and really grown with the community over the last 30 years now of operations. And it's become a place for residents, community members, even, the fire and police departments to gather and find a sense of community. And Bob Bale has been a part of that for a long time. And he's the owner who will be testifying here today and will testify that this is an establishment that remains as committed to the safety of their patrons and safe alcohol operations as ever. I think, as we touched on earlier already, this is a unique circumstance and set of facts. This is the entity's first violation and arose in response to the sale or service of alcohol, which was never truly completed. And I believe that, we certainly understand Officer Reck and the department's positions regarding the issues and the violation that took place. But I believe it also remains relevant that the staff, the bartender at issue here today, did realize their error and stopped the service, I should say, before a sale was ever completed. With that in mind, I would like to call Mr. Bale to testify as to some of the mitigating factors and overall circumstances of this violation.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Tim. I appreciate it. We realize obviously that we made a mistake. Um, we didn't follow the requirements of the city. We didn't follow the requirements of Twisted Pine. And we take this extremely seriously and we do accept full responsibility. But with that said, I guess we don't feel like it's a super egregious type of violation. For one, both of the operatives came in and one ordered, and our bartender did put a drink, did pour a drink. Checked, he did check the ID, failed to notice that the ID wasn't of date. Checked the other ID, saw that it wasn't, and immediately took the drink away from the first one without collecting any money. So there actually was no sale. Sale wasn't made, but both IDs were checked, and it was found out relatively quickly. But that said, it was still improper. It still was against any policy we have. Um, we've, like I said, like Sam said, we've been in business for 31 years. We rarely, if ever, have had to have any police presence. As a matter of fact, we're a very community-oriented business. In fact, the police and fire department have both had events here at Twisted Pine, and we're very proud of that fact. Um, all our employees are tips trained. Our employee handbook clearly states not only requirements for checking IDs, but for checking any alcohol over service or any people who may be intoxicated and the procedures that go along with that. We have signage displayed throughout the business, explaining any how we treat underage. Um, and also what we're doing, we're trying to be proactive with this. We learned a valuable lesson. We do have cameras, but I'm going to feel like so many restaurants, they don't work anymore. We've had them forever, and the system just doesn't work. So, as a matter of fact, within the last 2 days, we've ordered a couple of new cameras so that we can hopefully have some documentation should this ever occur again, which we're hoping obviously it doesn't. We are going to be adding a little bit more to our handbook. Our handbook is almost 30 pages, but we're going to be adding a little bit more about alcohol service to it. We currently meet at the very most, or excuse me, at the very least once a quarter. And part of the discussion, the all company discussions that we have is alcohol service. They're going to start stepping that up. Um, we are looking at getting into the bars program. Absolutely. I wish I had known about it before, and I didn't. I think it's a valuable service, and I think it can certainly help. So, with all that said, especially the fact that a sale wasn't made, and our bartender, our server caught it almost immediately. I just feel it's just not as egregious as just pouring somebody a beer and letting them have at it. Yeah, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. Any questions from the board for Mr. Bale?
Mr. Bale, do you think that this happened because it was just closing time and people were moving quickly? It was just an oversight from an experienced bartender.
Big part of it. Absolutely. It was, we close at 9. We're open 3 to 9, Monday through Thursday, and 11 to 9. We're just not a late night crowd. And I think, as we like to say, the server in question had a brain fart. And, it was quick. He was closing. He had other duties he was doing. Said no excuse, but that's was the circumstances.
And could you reiterate for me what your policy is on vertical IDs going forward?
It's going to be obviously any vertical IDs are going to have to get a second check. We generally have, there are occasions we don't, but we generally have managers on duty, and we're going to definitely get a second pair of eyes on it on a vertical ID.
And Chair Roberts asked us before, but I'm curious, have you confiscated any fake IDs in the last year or turned any into the city?
Haven't had any. We have not even seen any. We're, for the type of business we are, even though we are family oriented, we really don't get that crowd. The price that we charge for a beer, we don't see a lot of the younger folks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Bale? All right. And at this time, do you have any final statements for us before we close for deliberation?
I do not, other than to thank the board for taking your time.
Likewise. Thank you.
Great, thanks. Okay, then at this time, let's close for deliberation. This was an interesting one. I just would be open to maybe just some days in abeyance. There was never money exchanged. I think that they mitigated it so fast. I mean, they caught it. So it's tough, right? So it did sit there for a couple minutes and then came to, right? And took it away, did the right thing. So I would be open to something less than.
So no day, no
Have
day
it.
served.
I don't know. We've never done something like that before. I don't want to start that precedence. There was no money exchanged, and I like to think that this person just, had to press undo. Like,
Mhm. Mhm.
um, any major objections to something like that?
I know.
Oh,
Sorry,
Mr.
Mr. Barnes, go ahead.
I just, I don't object. I think it's fair.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is maybe a violation in technicality, but it's barely on the cusp of a violation. I don't think that we need to issue any days served for this. I think it's a good reminder to the licensee. And they have a sharp bartender, someone who's paying attention, um, and was able to mitigate it relatively quickly. I would absolutely be in favor of only putting some days in advance.
I agree with that. I mean, the deterrence value that we usually have built in isn't really relevant in this situation. I think we need to acknowledge that our rules are serious, but this that's a good solution under the circumstances. I'll bet you we're not going to find another case in 12 months where they stopped and took the alcohol back and said, sorry, out of here. That's not going to happen very often.
Great, then I would make a motion for 0 days served and 3 days in advance.
Member Carr would second that.
All those in favor say aye. Member Roberts, aye.
Member Barnes, aye.
Member Carr, aye.
Member Crane, aye.
Member Haggerty, aye.
All right. Motion passed. Thank you for telling us your story and good luck.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Everybody have a good day.
Thank you.
You too.
Okay, thank you. So we will be moving on to agenda item 9, which is the continued public hearing and consideration of an application filed on December 26, 2025 from Papusa's Lover LLC, doing business as Papusa's Lover 2, 2525 Arapahoe Avenue, Unit E1B, Boulder, Colorado 80302, Claudia D. Oehaja, 50% owner and proposed registered manager, and Sylvia D. Quijada Diaz, 50% owner with a premise business mailing address for a new hotel restaurant type liquor license. I do have, we did receive a request for an interpreter for this application. I believe that is going to be Tanya. Tanya, thank you so much. Let me promote you. And I do have another member with their hand raised, so I will also be promoting them. Tanya, if you can go ahead and unmute yourself and turn on your video.
Hello.
Hi, Tanya.
Hi.
I'll go ahead and get you sworn in. Just one moment, please. And then, let me see where the other individual with their hand went. Okay, I have a member, Yuceros de Zoom is the name. If you are here to speak on this matter, would you please raise your hand so I can promote you? While we're waiting for that, let me swear you in, Tanya, and then I'll ask you to maybe repeat to the applicant to raise their hand so I can promote them. Tanya, do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will make accurate, complete, and impartial interpretation from the English language into Spanish and vice versa of all communications during this proceeding using the best of your skill, judgment, and ability?
I do.
Thank you. Would you mind asking, please, if anyone is here to speak for Papusa's Lover application, if they would please raise their hand in the chat so I can promote them?
Hola, buenas tardes. In Spanish, you mean, right? Yes.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. Buenas tardes. Estamos buscando a alguien que esté de parte de el restaurante Pupusas. Puede levantar su mano para identificarlo en el Zoom, en la llamada, por favor.
Great. And they went ahead and did that. And if you could please ask them to unmute themselves and to turn on their camera.
Y por favor, esa persona puede quitar el mute y también poner su cámara videocámara para poder verlos. Gracias.
And one moment, please. There we go. Jonathan Trujillo, I also have for this. I believe Jonathan is here to speak for this matter. Give me one moment. Hi, Jonathan. Can you please unmute yourself and turn on your camera, please?
Hola,
Hola,
Jonathan.
buenas tardes. Soy Claudia Quijada.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Claudia Quijada.
Jonathan, you are still muted. There we go. You're unmuted.
Can you see me?
We can't see you yet, but we can hear you.
That's weird. Let's have to start video. Okay. There it is.
Fantastic. Okay. So, Jonathan, you are representing your client for this, correct?
I'm the accountant. I'm just here for support, but I'm not representing them. I'm just helping her in case she gets stuck with something. She's representing herself.
Okay,
Yep.
great. Then I will go ahead and swear in the applicant. Tanya, if you can go ahead. For the applicant.
I'm going to repeat after you.
Yes, please.
Yes.
If they can please say their name and spell their name.
Sí, por favor, puede decir su nombre y deletrear su nombre.
Es Claudia Quijada.
It's Claudia Quijada.
And give an address, please.
Y danos tu domicilio, por favor.
22 no, 2749 East Canyon Place, Aurora, Colorado.
Dame un segundo. East Canyon Place, Aurora, Colorado.
Ajá.
Ok.
80013.
Ok. 2749 East Canyon Place, Aurora, Colorado, 80013.
O del negocio.
Or do you need the one for the business?
Nope.
No,
That's fine.
ese es correcto.
And so I will swear in Claudia first, and then I'll swear in Jonathan.
Y voy a primero poner bajo testimonio a Claudia y luego a Jonathan.
Claudia, if you can please raise your hand.
Claudia, si por favor puedes levantar tu mano.
And do you testify do you affirm that the testimony you are about to give before the BLA
¿Afirmas que el testimonio que vas a dar ahora en frente del BLA
Lo
is
afirmo.
true?
Es verdad.
Yes, it's true.
Thank you. And I will swear in Jonathan as well. Jonathan, if you can please say your name and spell your name.
Jonathan Trujillo, Jonathan. Trujillo, Trujillo.
And if you can please give an address for the record.
Yes, 22119 East South Circle, Aurora, Colorado, 80015.
And please raise your hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give in this matter before the Beverage Licensing Authority is true?
I do.
Great. Fantastic. I will go ahead and turn it over to Chair Roberts.
Great, thank you so much. All right. Since you're not being represented by an attorney, I'll go ahead and read the procedures into the record.
Como no está siendo representada por un abogado, voy a leer los procedimientos en el récord.
Interpreter Tanya, do you happen to have this in front of you, what I'm about to read out loud? The procedures?
Maybe let me see. Do I have that, Sarah?
That link that I sent you to the packet, it's the very first, so it'll be item number 9. The very first page is in there. It should be 2 pages.
Does she have the entire packet?
Yes.
It's page 178 in the entire.
Okay, I'm looking. I have is it the one, it's not the one that says no, wait. Not the one that says agenda, no.
No, it'd be the next one after that. It would start with hearing procedures outline. It's the very first page after the green page. And it's okay. I'm happy to go slow.
Okay, that's fine too.
Did you find it?
I think I'm my agenda packet. Okay, hold on. I think I found it. Oh yeah. What page is it?
178.
Okay, almost there. 178. Okay, I got it. Thanks.
Absolutely. So I'm going to read, well, you'll see part of it.
Okay.
I'll do the top part slow.
Yep.
We'll do it back and forth because I'm going to fill in the blanks, and then I'll read the second part, and then you can read the second part. Does that sound good?
Yeah, I wonder if you can still see me right now.
I can see you.
Okay, perfect.
Great. Thank you so much. This is a public hearing before the Beverage Licensing Authority of the City of Boulder to determine whether or not the application of applicant Papusa's Lover, LLC, DBA Papusa's Lover 2.
Esto es una audiencia en frente de la Autoridad de Licencias de Bebidas de la ciudad de Boulder para determinar sí o no la aplicación del aplicante Pupusas Lover
DBA Pupusas Lover 2
DBA Pupusas Lover 2
for a new hotel restaurant type liquor license
para un nuevo hotel tipo restaurante licencia
shall be granted or denied.
para ver si se va a permitir o no se va a permitir.
This hearing is conducted pursuant to the laws of the state of Colorado and the rules of the Beverage Licensing Authority of the City of Boulder.
Esta audiencia se conduce de acuerdo a las leyes del estado de Colorado y las reglas de las bebidas de licencias de las autoridades de licencias de bebidas de la ciudad de Boulder.
And if you're okay with this, I'll read the next paragraph and then let you read the next one. Okay, great. The purpose of this hearing is to receive information, data, and testimony by interested parties in order to enable this authority to make the findings and to reach the conclusions required to be made by state law as to whether or not the license applied for shall issue. Interested parties are the applicant residents of the neighborhood under consideration and the owners and managers of a business located in the neighborhood under consideration. For purposes of determining who is an interested party at this hearing, the neighborhood under consideration is the neighborhood previously defined by the authority. The authority shall make a final determination of the affected neighborhood prior to determining whether the license shall be issued. Any interested party may speak to the question of neighborhood designation as well as other information relevant to the granting or denial of the application.
El propósito de esta audiencia es recibir información y datos y testimonios de los partidos interesados en esta orden para poder darle a esta autoridad información para hacer encuentros o investigación y poder llegar a una conclusión requerida por el Estado y por la ley, así ya sea para si la licencia, si se aplicó la licencia o no para tal tema. In- las partidos interesados son el aplicante, los residentes del vecindario dentro de la consideración, los dueños y los gerentes de los negocios que están en ese vecindario que se está considerando. Los propósitos, no, para los propósitos para determinar quién es el partido interesado en esta audiencia, el vecindario, el vecindario en el que se está considerando es el vecindario anteriormente definido por la autoridad. La autoridad puede hacer una final determinación acerca del vecindario afectado anteriormente a determinar ya sea si la licencia se va a emitir, si se le va a dar la licencia. Cualquier partido interesado puede hablar acerca de la cuestión del vecindario designado o de la designación del vecindario. Así también de otra información relevante a que se dé o que se deniegue el acceso a la aplicación.
Okay.
Thank you. To the board, I'm just going to speak now, but I will pause so you can repeat if that's okay. So I'm asking the board if there's any conflicts of interest.
Estoy preguntando a las personas aquí que si hay algún conflicto de interés.
Or has there been any ex parte communication?
O si al consejo también le pregunto si ha habido algún otro tipo de comunicación fuera de aquí, de la conferencia que estamos teniendo hoy.
Member Roberts, no.
Member Barnes, no.
Member Carr, no.
Member Robertson
Member
dijo
Crane,
no
no.
y dicen que no.
Member Haggerty, no.
Y el miembro Haggerty dice que no.
Great. Then if you are ready, you can proceed.
Y si estás listo, puedes proceder.
Is she ready to proceed?
¿Estás lista para
¿Proceder?
dar tu presentación? Sí.
Sí, claro. Ujú.
Yes, I am.
Okay. You may.
Pues recibimos, hicimos lo del T-Training ya, porque cuando me hicieron la entrevista hace un mes, eh, había un poco a lo mejor no estaba preparada, pero ya hicimos el T-Training con mis muchachos, con los trabajadores del restaurante.
Un segundo, la voy a interrumpir ahí. Si puede hacerlo cada dos, como pausado, por favor.
Ok.
Okay. Voy a interpretarlo primero. I'm just explaining her. Uh, we received the tip training about a month ago. We weren't ready with my team. We were not ready, but we received the tip training. Now, sí, adelante.
Were you able to send that? Actually, maybe we have not. Were you able to send in the certificates?
¿Pudiste enviar los certificados del entrenamiento?
If I may, I emailed that yesterday or the day before to somebody in the team. I believe it's Caitlin Kellogg.
Yeah, I see that now. It's like a spreadsheet.
Yes.
For the other members of the board, it was sent separately.
It was listed as an exhibit.
Yes, thank you. Let's let interpreter Tanya catch up.
Sí, Jonathan decía que le envió los certificados ya del entrenamiento.
Sí.
Adelante. Y nada más le recuerdo que pause para que yo pueda interpretar.
Sí, entonces, pues no sé qué más sigue. Nosotros ya estamos listos con el equipo para poder servir alcohol. Ah, sentimos que eso nos ayudó mucho, el entrenamiento.
We feel that the training really helped us. We are ready to serve, and I don't know what is the next steps for us to already serve alcohol to be able to do it.
This is the step.
Este es el paso.
Do you have anything else you would like to tell us about this and why we're here today?
¿Hay alguna otra cosa más que tú quieras decirnos sobre esto, el entrenamiento o por qué estás aquí el día de hoy?
Pues estamos aquí por el día de hoy para a ver si somos aprobados por ustedes para servir alcohol en nuestro restaurante a la comunidad.
Well, we're here in this meeting today for us to see if we are eligible to serve alcohol in our restaurant in our community.
Excellent. Do we have any questions from the board?
¿Tenemos algunas preguntas del consejo?
Do you know what percentage of your sales you expect to be alcohol versus food?
¿Tú sabes qué porcentaje de tus ventas serán alcohol y cuántos serán de comida, de su porcentaje?
Yo creo que unos 20% a 30% de alcohol y es más comida, es más un restaurante familiar.
I think it would be around 20 to 30% alcohol, and the rest would be food. It's more of a family restaurant. Like our crowd is families.
Mhm. Did the company who did the liquor training, did they review your internal policy?
La compañía de licor que le hizo su entrenamiento, ellos revisaron sus políticas y reglamento interior.
Correcto, sí.
Yes, correct.
What age did they recommend a person to appear in order to ID them?
I'm sorry, to appear?
Like, how old do they have to look?
Okay. In order to
To
serve.
to ask for an identification.
Okay. ¿A qué edad le recomendaron que sería para pedirles una identificación? ¿Qué edad, como de qué edad se tenían que mirar o ver, aparentar?
Todo el tiempo. Tenemos que preguntar por el ID de todo el tiempo.
All the time. We have to ask for an ID at all times.
Then why in your alcohol policy, you say that it must be of any person who appears under 40? What I'm trying to understand is how are people being trained if it's inconsistent?
¿Cómo está entrenando a las personas entonces si en su política, su reglamento que tiene usted, dice que cualquier persona que aparenta ser menor de 40 le tienen que pedir su documentación? Entonces, ¿cómo lo entrenan al personal?
Bueno, nos entrenamos para pedir identificación a todas las personas que por primera vez vengan a consumir alcohol. Obviamente se sabe que es de 21 años en adelante, ellos pueden tomar.
So we train them to ask ID to all the people who come in to ask for a beverage, an alcohol beverage. Obviously, we know that they have to be 21 years and older.
And then may I state that we did the policy before we had the training. So it could be that Lawrence from the liquor license training staff told us, to just ask ID for everybody at the end. I wasn't there at the training, but we did fill that out before the training. And maybe they thought differently than what we thought. So now they're telling them to just card everybody.
So if you did,
you want me to translate that?
Yes, I do. I'm sorry.
Okay. Entonces, Jonathan dijo que la política se hizo, la habían escrito antes del entrenamiento y que posiblemente eso fue lo que pasó.
Correcto.
Correct.
Then if the training was a month ago, and if we were to approve this today, how come you're not showing us an updated policy for how you're actually going to train people?
Como si el entrenamiento fue hace un mes y lo queremos aprobar hoy, ¿por qué no nos has enseñado una actualización de su reglamento, de su política?
And if I may, I could answer that question. I could submit it to you guys right away. I just wasn't aware of they wanted us to change that or not. I could make the change and resubmit that policy.
Y si Jonathan dice, si puedo, si me permite hablar, yo puedo decir que podemos hacer ese cambio en el reglamento antes de que hagan cualquier aprobación.
Are there any other questions from the board?
¿Hay alguna otra pregunta del consejo?
Yes, I have one question.
Sí, yo tengo una pregunta.
What is your policy around vertical IDs?
¿Cuál es tu política en cuanto a las identificaciones verticales?
Los menores tienen, creo que es la vertical aquí en Colorado, ¿no? Y
So minors have the vertical license here in Colorado.
espérate, horizontales para arriba. Ah, sí.
Yes, in Colorado, that's correct.
Sí, en Colorado eso es correcto.
Sí, ellos son los menores para, es, los mayores de 21 años la tienen vertical y los menores horizontal en Colorado. Ujú. ¿No?
The older than 21 have vertical and my under 21 have horizontal.
It's the other way around. Under 21 are vertical and over 21 are horizontal.
De hecho, es al revés.
Al revés, sí, correcto, es al revés.
Yes, I mixed up. I'm sorry. That's correct. I mixed it up. Yes.
And the reason I ask is because other states may allow for folks who are over 21 to have a vertical ID. So I'm curious what the policy will be when they receive any IDs that are vertical.
Y la pregunta la hago porque hay otros estados que permiten tener a las personas mayores de 21 tener una identificación vertical. Entonces, mi pregunta para usted es que, ¿cómo va a estar en su política escrito?
Siempre chequear que tengan 21 años.
In my policy, it would be that they always have to check if they're actually 21.
Okay, great. My suggestion is just to double check vertical IDs because that is one of the oftentimes where most of the violations occur when people are almost 21 or just under 21.
Ah, y mi sugerencia es que en su política lo escriba que siempre chequen dos veces, doblemente, las identificaciones que son verticales, porque ahí es donde muchas de las violaciones suceden, cuando las personas están aproximando los 21 años o están un poco antes de cumplir los 21.
Ok, gracias.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Other questions from the board?
¿Alguna otra pregunta del consejo?
Member Crane, I noticed you unmuted yourself. Did you have a question?
Miembro Crane, vi que te quitaste tu silencio. ¿Tienes alguna pregunta?
Member Carr covered what I had in mind. I'm all good.
Got it. Thank you.
No
Thank you.
tengo ninguna pregunta.
Any other questions for them? Okay, then do you have a closing statement or anything else you would like us to know?
Ok, ¿tienes alguna final declaración o algo que quieras, con lo que quieras cerrar tu presentación?
No, agradecer por el tiempo y por el aprendizaje que hemos recibido.
No, I just want to be very thankful for the training and for the attention that you've given us. Thank you.
Then at this time, we will close for board deliberation.
Así que vamos a cerrar para la deliberación del Consejo, la toma de decisiones.
Chair Roberts, I did notice that there is a petition forming a form in here, but we have not heard from um, Liquor Pros on this.
Actually, Chair Carr, Member Carr, they were here. This is actually a continuance from last month.
Oh, okay.
Liquor Pros presented. Um, I'll let interpreter Tanya.
Este es realmente una continuación de hace poco se estaba siguiendo, dando seguimiento. Es darle seguimiento a esa petición, a esa aplicación.
This is a continuance for kind of similar reasons, where it didn't sound like they knew laws around having a liquor license.
Parecía que no conocían las leyes o la legislación alrededor de tener una licencia de licor.
The main difference I see is this time they did do training.
Y la gran diferencia que veo es que esta vez ya hicieron un entrenamiento.
But as I called out and identified, it didn't change their policy.
Pero como lo identificamos hoy, no han cambiado aún su política, su reglamento.
However, it's not that it's a really bad policy, it's that they're not familiar with their policy. And that was a red flag for me.
Y sin embargo, no es que sea una mala política, sino que ellos mismos no están familiarizados o no conocen bien su política, y eso es lo que a mí me preocupa.
And we made a motion that Liquor Pros didn't have to come back.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
I was answering Member Carr's question. So Liquor Pros didn't need to come back and present again. We accepted their testimony.
Y estaba contestándole que Liquor Pros no te necesitaban regresar porque ya hicimos una moción.
Thank you. Based on that, I just have a quick question from Mr. Phipps. Since I wasn't present at the last meeting, I didn't see Liquor Pro's presentation. I have reviewed it. Am I still able to vote on this, or should I abstain?
You can vote on this if you feel like you are comfortable with the information that's in the record and you understand all that was presented at the last hearing. If you don't feel comfortable with that, you can also abstain. It's your decision based on how you feel you understand the evidence, but there's no prohibition on that, just to be clear.
Thank you.
Interpreter Tanya, did you catch that?
Yeah.
Do you want to brief her? Yeah.
I can repeat that if you need me to.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
El miembro Michael Carr estaba preguntando que si él podía hacer una decisión basada el día de hoy como miembro del consejo sin haber estado en la presentación anterior donde estuvo Liquor Pros y le dijo que sí puede hacer una decisión.
I think we might have lost both of them. I don't.
You did.
¿Sigue ahí, señora Claudia?
I don't see them in attendees, so let's give them a moment to hopefully come back. There's nothing in my email.
Are we allowed to continue deliberation or no?
There's no prohibition about this either, but again, it's going to create some odd situations if they do rejoin the meeting and we need to bring them up to speed with the translator. We may consider tabling this or perhaps taking a short break just to allow them to.
Jonathan is back.
Where's the interpreter?
Never mind.
Jonathan, if you
Perhaps
can
it's
unmute, please.
Jonathan.
We'll just hold off a second and looks like they're trying to get back on. Thank you.
Okay, start video. Do you guys see me?
Yes. Do you
Okay,
know?
so sorry about that. My phone turned off on me unexpectedly. I apologize.
No worries. And it looks like Claudia also dropped off at the exact same time.
Okay, is she back? Let me.
I do not have her back in attendees yet.
Uh-huh. It says the system took her out. She texted me. Let me tell her. I think she's trying to get back on. She's trying to get back on.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Sí, aquí estoy, hola.
I'm here, back here. Sorry, hi.
Great. Then we will continue with deliberation.
Y vamos a continuar entonces con las decisiones.
Other discussion amongst the board.
¿Alguna otra discusión dentro del consejo?
Anybody leaning a certain way, want to talk about it? I don't know.
¿Alguien que se esté inclinando a en alguna decisión? ¿Quiere hablar de eso?
This is Member Haggerty. Could things be stronger a little bit? Yeah, maybe more familiarity with the alcohol policy. Is I hate to deny because of that, or you know, continue to push that to next month. Um, I'm leaning towards approving maybe with some perhaps some check-ins just to see how things are going. Um, just to see if their comfortability with everything is improved. So that's kind of maybe the direction I'm leaning. Because I think that it seems like they've asked. I wasn't here last month, but I kind of reviewed the notes. And it looks like they're doing what we're asking. It's just that what is our comfortability with making sure that they are familiar with that policy and that they understand the vertical ID. Um, and it's important to ID everyone. And then just that becomes habit, right? So I'm inclined to approve, but maybe with some conditional check-ins in the next few months to see how things are going. Um, I don't know.
Let's give interpreter Tanya a second to interpret that.
Sí, el miembro Haggerty, me estoy inclinando me inclino a que me inclino a que bueno, ellos, lo que me está pensando es que necesito que estén más familiarizados, que conozcan la política de alcohol. Me estoy inclinando como a probar, pero en cuanto a que quiero checar, que estemos checando cómo van continuamente. En lugar de seguir empujando otra junta de estas para deliberación, en un mes. No estuve en la otra junta, pero revisé los datos, hicieron lo que pedimos. Lo que me importaría mucho estar asegurarnos es de que conozcan la política de alcohol, sepan exactamente cuáles son las identificaciones verticales y que siempre estén checando todas las identificaciones. Entonces yo me inclino a aprobar el día de hoy la licencia, pero haciéndoles uno chequeo de repente en el tiempo.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Other comments or motions?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the best policy we've seen, and I think it's a uh, it but I think it's sufficient to grant the license, in my opinion. Also, hearing from some of the testimony, I think that we should impose as a condition that they send us their alcohol policy before next meeting with the updated information that we discussed today.
Are you making a motion? Or let's let,
Yeah, I was pausing.
okay, let's let interpreter Tanya interpret and then you can proceed.
No es la mejor política que he visto yo, el miembro Michael Carr, pero me parece que puede ser suficiente para otorgar la licencia. Sin embargo, me parecería muy bueno que ellos nos envíen la política actualizada.
Okay.
Anybody else? Or
¿Alguien más?
Member Haggerty, did you have a specific? I wanted to make sure we got your specific thoughts in mind. And you said something about I don't know if you wanted to make
No, it was nothing specific, but I think, if it's, a requirement on providing an updated policy, I think that would be sufficient.
Right. We'll go see case up.
So,
okay. I would make a motion to approve this policy or this license.
Yeah.
Ok, yo voy a mandar una moción para aprobar esta licencia.
Can I get a town?
Oh, sorry.
So,
Is there a second?
any contingencies on that, or no? It's just
You can, I just was trying to move to get us somewhere. So if the answer is no, there's no second, that's fine. Somebody else can make a motion, an amended motion. So if you guys had something in mind, now would be time. I'm not as concerned about getting the updated policy. My questioning and concerns came out of wanting them to succeed and not be before us because messed up. So I'm leaning towards approving. I agree with you guys. This is not the best policy that we've seen. I've asked the same questions a couple times. I going into this one with more of like a good faith, that I think that they really want this, and I do believe they're going to do their best.
I share your point of view.
So then I would,
And I could make that into a second for your motion so that we can discuss it and vote on it.
all those in favor say aye. Member Roberts, aye.
Member Burns, aye.
Member Carr, aye.
Yeah.
Refrain, aye.
Member Haggerty, aye.
Let's give interpreter Tanya a moment to catch up.
Y bueno, miembro Leah Roberts dice que estoy de acuerdo, no es la mejor política que hemos visto, pero parece que realmente ellos han hecho mucho esfuerzo para conseguir la licencia porque Vemos que tienen mucha motivación para conseguir la licencia. Entonces, voy a mandar una moción para que lo aprobemos, pero lo estamos haciendo de buena fe, porque realmente creo que lo quieren y esperamos que hagan lo mejor que puedan.
Interpreter Tanya, I have one more closing. Just as advice, if you would just say, like, please just really, the penalty is strong, and we just really want them to do their best. And good luck.
Y bueno, solo mi consejo dándole la licencia es que las penalidades para si cometen un error son muy graves y muy altas. Entonces, nosotros le recomendamos seguir todo al pie de la letra, pero le deseamos muy buena suerte.
And if they need anything, they can contact Officer Rec at the police department, and they can contact the county office.
Y si necesitan algo más adicional, pueden contactar al oficial REC en el departamento de policías o a la ciudad o al condado.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And then just for the record, I will be submitting the updated policy plan
Okay.
for this client. Okay.
Great.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you for your help. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, Interpreter Tanya.
Gracias.
Gracias, Tanya.
Thank you. Gracias.
Thank you, Tanya.
Thank you.
I appreciate
Thank
your
you. Thank you everyone for your patience. Thank you.
We will go ahead and move on now to agenda item 10, which is public hearing and consideration for an application filed on February 4th, 2026 from Joy Hospitality LLC, doing business as Odd Rabbit, 5863 Arapahoe Avenue, number A2, Boulder, Colorado, 80303. Joy Hospitality LLC, 100% owner Michael Lee Pope Jr., 35% owner Christopher Teagland, 32.5% owner Ariana Teagland, 32.5% owner, with a business mailing address of 8047 Decatur Street, Westminster, Colorado, 80031, for a new hotel restaurant type liquor license. I do see Carol has her hand raised, and if anybody else is here to speak on this matter, please raise your hand so I can go ahead and promote you. Getting everybody situated and in here. And Fern, if you can turn on your video and unmute. There we go.
Good afternoon.
Fantastic. So Fern, if it's all right with you, I will go ahead and swear in Ariana and Carol, and then I will turn it over to you to go ahead and proceed.
Great.
Oh, and Carol is ready, so I'll go first with Carol. Nope, that works. You're ready. It works. I love it. Carol Johnson, if you could please say your name and spell your name, please.
Carol Johnson, Johnsson, for Liquor Pro.
And a record or an address for the record, please.
5515 Saddle Rock Place, Colorado Springs.
And your hand is already up. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give in the matter before the Beverage Licensing Authority is true?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Ariana, I'll swear you in, please. If you can give your name and spell your name and an address for the record, please.
My name is Ariana Tegland, ArianaTeigland. Address is 8047 Decatur Street, Westminster, Colorado, 80031.
Great. If you can raise your hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you are about to give in the matter before the Beverage and Licensing Authority is true?
I do.
Great. And Fern, would you like to record your appearance?
Yes. Good afternoon. I'm Fern O'Brien, and I'm an attorney, and I'm representing the applicant today, Joy Hospitality LLC, doing business as Odd Rabbit, and my attorney registration number is 26912.
Great, thank you so much. Oh, sorry. Okay. And Attorney O'Brien, are you comfortable with waiving the procedures into the record?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Great. Then this is a public hearing before the Beverage Licensing Authority for the City of Boulder to determine whether or not the application of applicant Joy Hospitality LLC, DBA Odd Rabbit, for a new hotel restaurant type liquor license shall be granted or denied. To the board, has there been any ex parte communication or conflicts of interest with this establishment? Member Roberts, no.
Member Burns, no.
Member Carr, no.
Member Crane, you are muted.
Apologies. Member Crane, no.
Member Haggerty.
Excellent. If you're ready, you may proceed.
Good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Really appreciate being here today. The first thing that I'd like to do is call Carol Johnson from Liquor Pros and give her testimony about the petitioning, the process and the results. So Carol.
Thank you. First of all, Liquor Pros is a neutral third-party petitioning company that provides needs and desires surveys for liquor and marijuana license applications, as well as providing responsible vendor training. We do not guarantee our results. In this case, in Boulder, we do use the map and the paperwork that is supplied by the city of Boulder, and we use tally sheets to log all of our attempts and the results, which in turn becomes the summary that you have before you. To start the closest to the location and radiate out. So we have samples of different areas. The residents in this case were done on Sunday, March 29th, and businesses on Monday, March 30th. From that, we made 85 attempts at businesses and 266 at residents for a total of 351 attempts, which resulted in 120 signatures, 119 in favor, and 1 in opposition. Business survey provided 50 signatures, 49 in support and 1 in opposition. And the residents provided 70 in support and 0 in opposition. There was no reason why the one person did sign in opposition. We had 25 who declined to participate, 9 who don't sign any surveys or petitions, 8 were not interested, and 8 were too busy. We had 24 who were not qualified. 13 of those were businesses that did not have an owner or manager available. 7 were non-residents. 3 were under 21, and 1 did not speak or read English well enough to participate. So I do believe that this shows that there is a need and desire for this new liquor license, with only 1 in opposition and no reason given for that. I'd be more than glad to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions from the board about this survey? I'm not seeing any. You may proceed.
All right. Thank you so much, Carol.
Thank you.
I would like to now call Ariana Teagland.
And Ms. Johnson, if you wanted to leave, you're more than welcome.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, go ahead.
So hi, Ariana. You already stated your name and spelled it and your address. So tell us about your restaurant.
Yes, good afternoon. We are going to primarily serve sushi, ramen, some small plates. It'll be similar to our restaurant in Denver, in that it'll be hopefully a spot for regulars, like a community place for families, and hopefully a destination for visitors as well.
Great. And what is your position with the company?
I am an owner and general manager.
Okay, very good. And how is the restaurant financed?
Entirely by Michael Pope's personal accounts.
Okay. And is the trademark Odd Rabbit properly registered with the Colorado Secretary of State?
It is.
And let's talk a little bit about the possession and control of the premises at 5863 Arapahoe Boulevard, Suite 2A. Do you have a lease?
Yes, we have a lease.
Very good. And did you post notice of this hearing on the premises?
We did on April 2nd of this year, which was at least 10 days before today's hearing.
Okay, great. And I have noticed that your restaurant is in this brand new mixed use development. Can you tell us a little bit about the location of that? And I'm pretty sure it's across the street from the golf course on Arapahoe. Is that correct?
Yes, the neighborhood is a new mixed use development on the north side of Arapahoe, east of 55th Street. It's mostly apartments. There's some office spaces and retail shops, and one other restaurant.
Okay, so you are going to be the second restaurant?
Yes.
Great, great. Could you describe your experience in the restaurant liquor business?
Yeah, I've worked in the industry for over a decade. I've been managing restaurants for 7 years, maintained liquor licenses for other restaurant groups, and I have owned and operated Glow Noodle House in Denver for over 4 years. No violations there.
And they
Um,
have a hotel restaurant license, correct?
yes.
Great,
And my husband, Chris, has roughly 15 years of experience in the restaurant business too, running kitchens.
great, great. So let's just describe the restaurant a little bit so that we can kind of establish the security of the liquor and how that all operates.
Yeah,
So go
we
ahead.
we have our liquor stored in a locked designated area. We have a cage with locks. We do have a patio, but it is fenced. You can see the patio from inside the restaurant, and you can only enter the patio through the restaurant.
Great. And what are the hours of operation for your new restaurant when it opens?
Yeah, we're planning on Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 4 p.m. to 10 p.m., and then we're closed on Sundays.
Okay, great. And tell us about, is there table service or will it be like service at a or ordering at a counter, or just tell us a little bit about that?
Um, it's fine casual dining, but it's a full table service with servers.
Okay, great. And there's a bar
Yes.
also,
Yeah,
but
our
not
bar,
but not in a separate room. There's just a bar where you can sit.
correct.
Okay,
It's a full service bar. The whole food menu is offered at the bar, and it closes the same time as the kitchen.
okay, very good. So I'm sure you know the hotel restaurant type license requires that the licensed restaurant provide full meals and then light snacks. It also requires that at least 25% of the restaurant's gross sales be from the sale of food. Um, can you tell us what you estimate that ratio to be?
Yeah, we estimate it should be around 70% of the sales coming from food, which is what our percentage is in Denver. Um, yeah, we will be mostly a food spot for sure.
Great. And this isn't totally relevant, but I think it's so great that your restaurant in Denver has been recognized by Michelin 3 years in a row.
Yeah, we're
So,
really excited.
so you're definitely a food-oriented kind of a
The
place.
star is the food, and liquor is primarily served to just enjoy with the meal, but food is what we're known for.
That's great. So in your opinion, Tiana, do you think the issuance of this license will have an adverse effect on the health, welfare, or morals of the neighborhood?
No, we're very locally owned and operated. My husband and I actually met working at Black Belly down the street. So it feels really natural for us to open a restaurant in the same area. We're excited to bring a space with incredible food and atmosphere to East Boulder. I think it'll be a positive impact on the neighborhood.
That's great. And you are familiar, I mean, you have held a liquor license in Denver for the past 4 years with no violations, I
Correct.
think you said. So you are familiar, can you just state that you are familiar, if that's true, with the liquor code?
Yes, I am. I just did my recertification with, we go by the LED approved vendor list, so Craft RVT is who I do it through. My entire staff is required to be certified as well. I do require that for all my staff, but for this location specifically, prior to employment, they have to get certified through that program as well.
And then do you have any other steps that you take to make sure that people are compliant with respect to serving visibly intoxicated people or underage people?
Yeah, my staff is educated on the physical and behavioral signs that someone is intoxicated and they don't serve those guests. It's our policy to provide multiple safe alternatives home. Um, we don't serve to underage people. All guests must produce adequate identification of age that's valid and unexpired. It's our policy in Denver that anything besides a horizontal ID must be double checked by a manager.
Great. Is there anything else that you would like to add at this time?
I don't think so, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Great. That's great. Thank you. I no more questions for Ariana, but does anyone from the authority have a question?
Thank you so much. Any questions from the authority?
One question. I was reviewing the liquor policy, and you mentioned that, well, the vertical IDs would not be, or you'd have to double check those. I didn't see anything specifically in the liquor policy about that. Um, is something you're going to add to it, or what's your thought process there?
Yeah, we will update that. I noticed before the hearing that it wasn't in there either, but that is in practice in Denver, and I plan on implementing it in Boulder as well.
Great. And as you probably heard from, if you've been sitting in on the rest of these other items, agenda items, that's been the primary challenge for other licensees when they're getting violations. So
Yeah,
great.
lots of experience with that.
Any other questions from the board? Not seeing any. So if you have a closing statement.
Yes, I would just like to say that it's been a pleasure working with Ariana and her group, and they are very experienced and are very knowledgeable about the liquor code, have not had any violations. They're excited about coming to Boulder with their wonderful menus and ideas, and I respectfully request that their liquor application be approved. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. So then at this time, we can close for deliberation. I thought it was fantastic presentation. Thanks for following up with that great question, Member Carr. Any discussion, any motions?
Well, I'm
I would
sure
make
that the
oh,
East Boulder neighborhood's going to be very happy to have them.
yes, I'm very jealous it's not in South Boulder. To be honest, we need this down here. I would make a motion to accept this application. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion. Member Crane seconds it.
All those in favor say aye. Member Roberts, aye.
Member Burns, aye.
Member Carr, you're
Member Carr, aye.
Member Crane, aye.
Member Haggerty, aye.
great. Good luck. Welcome back to Boulder, I suppose.
Thank you
We'll
so
expect
much.
three Michelin stars for the next 3 years
I
over in
know.
East Boulder.
I was
Thank you.
thinking because Black Belly is now opening up a location here in South Boulder. Maybe you guys will follow suit and follow them down here too.
Stay neighbors. Yeah, I like
Yep.
that.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Great, thank you, everybody. So we will move on to agenda item 11, which is matters from the city attorney.
We don't have any matters, board members, but if you do have any questions, happy to answer those. And I want to apologize for Roberta not being here, but thanks for having me and letting me serve as your counsel today.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Agenda item 12, matters from the licensing clerk. Legislative update, there is none for April. Surprisingly, there are no boundary settings for this hearing either. We do have expected administrative processing of a liquor license transfer. Now, there's nothing for the board to do here. You don't have to vote or deliberate. It's just simply administrative information that we're required to pass along. And that will be for Owl Coffee Roasters, LLC, doing business as OWL Coffee Roasters, 2355 30th Street, Boulder, Colorado, 80301 for a transfer of a tavern type liquor license. There should also have been included the special event liquor permits list and also the liquor license renewals list sent out to you all in the packet. I did have an additional add-on, nothing that you all have to vote on or decide on today, but you will be receiving an email from either myself or Caitlin with dates so that we can begin scheduling the BLA retreat for this year. So just a heads up on that. Hopefully that will be getting into your inbox, hopefully no later than the end of next week. That is all from us, from the licensing clerk. So agenda item 13 is items from the authority.
Any items from the authority? Not seeing any.
Okay, fantastic. Then that brings us to the last agenda item, which is adjournment.
Great. I would make a motion to adjourn.
I second that motion. Member Barnes.
All those in favor say aye. Member Roberts, aye.
Member Barnes, aye.
Member Carr, aye.
Member Crane, you're muted.
Member Crane, aye.
Member Haggerty, aye.
Great. Meeting adjourned at 5:25 p.m.
Everyone.
Thanks,
Guys.
everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely evening.
You too, Sarah.
Good job, Sarah.